a long way behind them.
And they're going a great gallop on this ground, really. I don't think the ground's been quite as bad as we first thought. It seems a lot of finishes there, and they seem to be going just a nice, sensible pace, but quick enough. West Tip there, right up with the leaders.
And the pace fairly fast, as it inevitably is, Bill.
It always is, always keen to get to that first fence. Steersby right over on the outside here. Brendan Powell's gone for the easier route right round the outside. And West Tip up there on the inside with Richard Dunwoody. These two really do know their way around. Coming to the first fence now.
But way out on the outside, Brendan Powell going where he went when he was successful last year, of course. The faller was Seagram. Now we can see it from the low angle. Horses really taking off. The speed is why they're jumping so far out over here. Gray, of course, Sergeant Sprite going through. Seagram, the only faller at the first.
Brown Tricks now leading them up, right up on the outside here. Oldest rider in the race, but you wouldn't think he was that old the way he kicks him into this fence here.
Having a real cut at it. Just slow motion there for a buzz, settles it down at for half a second or so. But just look how far out there Brendan Powell is. He really is going to take the paint off the far rail.
Here, Derek Becher giving this horse a real kick in this fence. Look at him kicking him.
It's a big ditch, this one, and it just claims Bob Tisdall, but he's way behind, he refuses. But look at David Pitcher. He saw a stride about 10 strides away, but the horse just coming back underneath him.
Mr. Chris there right up on the centre there.
But meanwhile, on the inside, Newnham is close on the rail. There's a whole stack of horses coming this side, although as they go down to Becher's, you'll see that they do actually go across the course to jump the Becher's at the lowest point, or the lowest drop. But at this point, coming in a fairly nice fence now. That's if you're sitting here watching it at home. And what a big jump from Steersby on the outside. Well, there's Becher's coming up. And here we're about to lose quite a few of the fancied horses, including Dixton House, Brown Tricks, C&M, Hettinger, Sergeant Sprite and Suggest go. In a minute now, that was the fifth fence that they're over now. But do just notice how they're all coming over towards the outside of it.
I think they've been a little bit worried about the soft ground right on the inside. I think that's why they've all bunched up and come right over to the outside here, and definitely probably caused the fall of one or two of them.
Dixton House was first to go. Look, he over-jumped, and I'm afraid Tom Morgan, no chance there at all.
Brown Tricks right on the outside fell and went back into the ditch.
Suggest Jockey was definitely unseated. He was knocked off there.
Attitude Adjuster almost fell, but managed to get going. And there's Sergeant Sprite. He managed to fire his jockey out of the play.
Yes, that was Michael Moran. So, as they go on to the smallest fence on the course, this one that has caused problems in the past, but doesn't today. All seem to jump that. Amazing how much that is on the turn.
The whole of the bottom part of this course is very, very sharp. We get a great shot of the canal turn. See this extraordinary angle here. Smart Tower right on the outside in the Courage colours.
In fact, you'll see him finish first of all, but without a rider later on. But now watch as the riders pull across. They'll go left-handed to dive across and try and cut the corner here as they go into the canal turn, which is exactly right now. Starting to turn now.
Steersby, great jump by him at the canal turn, really stood off and flew it on the outside there.
And they're all turning exceptionally well. They're taking a lead from the early horses. I've not seen horses as a group turn so well here. So West Tip's come into the picture now. West Tip there in second place, Richard Dunwoody, lovely position. What a good jump again from the leader. What a pity he was to fall, but that's what it's all about.
Steersby been jumping really well up here. And there's the winner, Little Polvier, just tucked in behind the leaders.
Yes, good shot here as the friends, Brendan Powell and Richard Dunwoody, go to the next together. They've got over Valentine's. Look at West Tip pricking his ears. This is the 5th year he's been round here. It's simply amazing. Loves it.
Another great jump by Steersby.
Team Challengers come into the picture there in the blue colours of the red hat.
Newnham, last year's Fox Hunter winner, right up on the inside there.
Simon Andrews giving him a great ride, as in fact he did a year ago. But up front, it's the same two now. Look at the lovely long rein that both Dunwoody and Brendan Powell are using. Just coming into the picture, we've got Newnham on the inside.
Mithras there, Steersby straight into that. It's a ditch and he never took off at all.
Yes, Mithras in the dark colours is going well. He's on the outside of Little Polvier. There's last of the Brownies making a forward move.
Bonanza Boy right on the inside though. Peter Scudamore going his customary inside roll round Aintree.
But old West Tip left in front sooner than he'd actually like to be. But he's up there, he knows his way around, and coming up on his inside in the lighter colours, Newnham. But what a big jump there. There's a ditch on the landing side. You don't notice that, and the ground is actually raised at this point. So, still a lot of horses on their feet. The ground obviously not as bad as we had envisaged it would be, and a whole wealth of horses there as they turn round towards the racecourse proper. This is an exciting time. They're crossing the Anchor Bridge Road. Normally, Bill, when you get to this point, you start to be here a little bit confident.
Yes, he got the chair to come up, mind. That's the only jump that you get really confident. West Tip's still in front here, absolutely loving it. I don't think it matters he's in front a bit early round here. He knows his way so well.
But Peter Scudamore and Bonanza Boy back on the inside in about 7th place. But a whole wealth of horses. Look as we go from the inside in the pink Bonanza Boy, then Mithras, then Little Pole Veer, then next to him is West Tip, just about to be crossed by the loose horse, then Newnham's yellow cap there. And this is Kersal in the blue colours coming up. Joe Swire's horse going exceptionally well, but this one turns a somersault a little later on. So, with a whole huge amount of the field still there, the chair only a couple of fences away.
Peter Scudamore going right down the end of there on Bonanza Boy. He's not giving that away to anybody.
Look for the pink colours there, and he's actually dived off the course a little bit in order to get the good ground. It was cut up on that bend, but you will see that this is the best I've seen a whole field tackle the chair when they eventually get to it. The loose horses, 2 loose horses, dangerously running across in front of them.
The Thinker on the outside just jumped that superbly. Everything jumps the chair really well.
But now I think this is it, isn't it? They're coming up. Look at the loose horses just going across there. It's a sight that jockeys don't like to see. Richard Dunwoody has jumped this fence a lot. Look, out go the loose horses. Fence angled across the course, as in fact it's quite obvious when you walk round. Well, let's have another look at that very fence. It will be the last fence on the final circuit, but at this stage the boys are just thinking and holding. It's Kersal who jumps this in front, picks up nicely, and old West Tip on the inside. There's Smart Tar nearest to us, the Thinker going through the picture, Cranloam, but the big one is coming up. Kersal, West Tip's in front, inside Little Polveer, Peter Scudamore going the inside, but on about 8th place. In the middle with the red cap, that's Team Challenge.
Smart Tar there, still up there with the white face.
And on the wide outside, nearest to a centre picture, is the Thinker, the Gold Cup winner. He runs a blinder. On his inside is Gainsay, but look at the leaders. In fact, look at the whole field sailing over. That's the way the chair should be jumped. Beam Wham jumping it now for David Naylor Leyland. Big white face. But let's have a look at this from another angle. This is a worm's eye view of Kersal and West Tip. The whole field now. Last of the Brownies going through. The Thinker, Gainsay flying over it. A loose horse absolutely jumping well. Cranloam going through. There's Friendly Henley and Beam Wham. And here, trailing. Oh, one of them puts his feet in. That was Sidbury Hill who put his feet in. And now this is from the landing side where the ground is raised. Kersal on the outside pulling hard at the moment. Last of the Brownies, Smart Tar in the Courage colours.
The Thinker there on the outside. Queensway Boy coming over now.
Yes, but the leaders had gone on. There is Beam Wham, and David Naylor Leyland, he's not going to get a lot further than he's got now, but he's had a tremendous first ride. Well, the water jump's always a jump that people look forward to. It doesn't take a lot of negotiating, and on the inside, Jimmy Frost, in fact, amazing thing, has just gone through to head the field, and he's going to be there next time around. Didn't see what that was that went at the water, unfortunately. I didn't catch that one. I was looking up at the leaders as they set out, and what a lovely feeling to have completed one circuit. And what a nice thing to have so many horses still there.
It's a great thing. We were very worried about the ground and probably 1 or 2 not making it out a second time, but it's been a great thing. So many horses going out for the second circuit here, and everybody feeling pretty keen and pleased with themselves.
Yes, now if you look to the right of the picture in about 10th place, the bright orange colours, that's my son Mark, having a terrific first ride around Aintree. I hope it won't be his last, and I'm sure it won't be, but he is destined to only go another 3 fences.
And crossing over the other side of the Anchor Bridge Road, going on down towards the first fence second time.
It's just Little Polvier in front. West Tip is on his outside. Then we've got Brian Priest's horse on the inside, Mithras. He's running a super race. The Thinker's over safely now. And there's Tanya Davis just going through on number 8. And Merlin, she was the one who just nodded. Let's have a look from our low-angle camera as the leaders all fly this one. But there'll be a couple of mistakes you'll see as they come through it. That's Attitude Adjuster just going through. A couple of loose horses jumping just for fun, and so they should. I think you'll see number 8 just, Merlin just ducking its head a little bit there. So, on to the second and the second circuit. This is fence 18.
Jimmy Frost has really got the bit between his teeth now on this horse. He's been round here before, lost his jockey, I think, on a couple of occasions, but he's not going to lose him today.
In fact, he's been up front for a very long time, and here he's opting to go down the middle of the course. Mithras is on the right of the picture. He's running a superb race.
West Tip just dropping back a little bit here, coming down toward the softer part of the course. Probably doesn't like the softer ground too much. Just puts in that short one that Jimmy Frost said he would at that fence. Got away with it brilliantly.
And running up on the outside, Smart Tar is having a tremendous run.
Yes, in the Courage colours. Very great run by this horse.
Now, this is the big ditch. The jockeys don't like it, and it looks certainly very big from where I'm standing a long way away.
Little Polvier, Smart Tar, just gets too much height and fires jockey straight out over the top. Didn't really fall, but fired him out from behind.
You have to be pretty hard, I think, to say anything than had no chance but staying aboard. But what must be going through Jimmy Frost's mind? He's out in front, he was past the post for the first time in front, and he's just trying to hold concentration, because when you're on your own, it's a hard thing to do. But the horse is getting into the bottom of the fence and jumping out nicely over it.
He's had that bit of experience, and it does show. It does help them when they're going around here, particularly in front. They know they've got to concentrate and keep their mind right on the job.
Just 2 to Becher's. In fact, they're coming to the hedge. This is Becher's. This is Becher's where the hedge is. And just going into it, they're right over again where the better ground is. And look how angled that fence is.
On the outside in the red colours, Gala's Image, Neil Doughty yet again has got round.
And Brown Tricks, who is actually still on the floor from the first time, was not, in fact, put down. He got up after a short rest, only winded, and he got up. But the riders taking this well this year. They're not appearing to nod very much, are they?
No, they're going very, very good now. Here we have Little Polvier, absolutely spot on now. He's got the job well sewn up. Right on the inside, Mononor has been creeping round there. Graham McCourt's been keep getting a bit. Love this soft ground. He just keeps getting him in the right position, trying to get a bit of ground.
Tell you what, Gala's Image made a mistake about 3 up from the end there, just screwed over it. But as they go to the canal turn for the second time, the race is beginning to sort itself out, because we've got Little Polvier in front, West Tip is bang up there, Bonanza Boy is in the pink colours on the outside.
Mononor right on the inside, saves a bit of ground as he comes round here. Graham McCourt's got him up on the inside.
Must really commend the jockeys on the way they've ridden the course. They've gone the shortest way around where it mattered and got the best of the ground where it didn't.
Last of the Brownies come right up there to dispute second place with West Tip.
So let's go from the leader then. Here, Little Polvier still in Jimmy's hands. Last of the Brownies in the green and orange. Mononor is next to him on his left, and the loose horse is Smart Tar, back in it again, having had a tumble. And now on the inside, you can see Team Challenge coming in with a real challenge here. West Tip just in front of him. But up front, there's no signs of Little Polvier weakening, and he was in this very place 12 months ago.
Only to go and lose his jockey and must now be considered a bit unlucky. Just cocks his ears and has a look. Great jump there. Super jump by Last of the Brownies. Bonanza Boy. Peter Smoothmore's just come out a little bit wide there and trying to get this horse to run.
And we just had a slight view of Gala's Image, who gets back into the race. But it's Last of the Brownies who's going really well in second place. Tommy Carmody must be thinking, well, is this going to be my national?
Durham Edition coming up there in about 5th place. Blue colours with a sheepskin noseband. Mononor starting to weaken a bit on the inside.
Yes, Chris Grant thought he'd probably come a bit too soon last year and rode a perfect race this year. Durham Edition just wasn't right. He's going up on the inside of Bonanza Boy as they cross the Anchor Bridge Road. So it's Little Polveer from the riderless Smart Tar. Last of the Brown is just in second on the inside. Durham Edition going up third and cantering. Team Challenge is in fourth, and Michael Wilby just starting to push and kick. Then old West Tip, he knows his way around. And look at those idiots there. What have they got to gain? Well, I hope I don't meet them in the car park going home. But the race is on.
Little Polveer. Jimmy Frost just has a quick look over his shoulder to see how well the others are going. Durham Edition, Chris Grant must be just thinking, I'm not going too soon today, I'm going to hang on to this one.
But what we can see is the Thinker coming back into it. He's just out of the picture, but we'll spot him in a minute. At the moment, it is Little Polveer. It is Durham Edition on the outside. Last of the Brown is on his inside. Now here's the Thinker. He's been swapped by Simon Sherwood. He's coming on the outside of the field, and he's really motoring.
And this is the fence. He really walks through this one. Just watch him here. Stands off too far, paddles it and treads all over the top of it.
He actually banked the top and jumped off again.
But Jimmy Frost has got Little Polveer going for home.
But again, Durham Edition is going amazingly well. This was the same as a year ago, just doesn't quite get home as well today.
Chris Grant's really ridden the race to perfection, just wasn't good enough on the day.
Well, we'll go back and just see them from the other side now, as the leader, who is the eventual winner, Little Polveer, up, being challenged by Durham Edition. Chris Grant going for it. He's been second in this race twice in the last 3 years. On the inside, last of the Brownies, West Tip. There's Team Challenge, the back view of him. Mononor is the final one on the left. So let's go back to the leader, and there's no stopping. But they're actually coming at him. Here's the Thinker and West Tip going either side of the weakening Durham Edition now.
West Tip has really come back, just dropped back a bit now early on, and he's really having a cut now. Just for a moment, it looks as if he might get there. Loose horse, luckily, doesn't interfere with Little Polveer too much. In fact, it helps him, keeps him running.
Yes, Jimmy Frost said this, and it is true, that the company of a loose horse will encourage Little Polveer to go. He's really stretching it now, and it's a lovely feeling. There he is, he crosses the line. Little Polveer is the winner of the '89 Seagram Grand National. And here it is again, and this gives you a different view as the challengers here. The white-faced Smart Tar without his rider. He's the only challenger to Little Polveer. The Thinker has run a tremendous race under 11 stone 10 for Arthur Stevenson. He's in the orange colours, and they're just weakening his West Tip. He's been around here every year for the last 5 years, and certainly he's covered himself in glory. What must be going through Jimmy Frost's face now, on his mind, I don't know, but his face reminds me of how it is to finish a race. He hasn't got his teeth in, Bill, but he wouldn't want to.
Put his teeth back in for the interview, as noticed.
First Little Polveer, 28-1. Second, West Tip, 12-1. Third, The Thinker, 10-1. And fourth, Last of the Brownies, 16-1. Fifth place, Durham Edition. Sixth, Mononor. Seventh, Gala's Image. Eighth, Bonanza Boy. And ninth, Team Challenge. In 10th place was Newnham. 11th, The Thirsty Farmer. 12th was Attitude Adjuster. 13th, Sidbury Hill. And last of all, Mr. Becher. And the horses that came to grief at fence number 1, Seramo fell. Fence number 2, Bob Tisdall refused. And Cranloam fell. At Becher's Brook, first time round, that's fence 6, Brown Tricks, Dixon House, Hedinger, C&M, Sergeant Sprite, and Suggest all fell. And fallers at fence 11 were Friendly Henry, Paris Valley, and Steersby. At fence 15, the Chair, Smartside fell. At fence 16, the Water Jump, Mr. Chris was a faller. Fence number 18, Beamwam, pulled up. At fence 19, Gainsay, Smart Tar fell, and Queensway Boy refused. Numerate fell at fence 21, and fence 22, Becher's Brook, Merlin pulled up. Fence 23, Poland Nomad and Kersel pulled up, and at fence 26, Partridge also pulled up. Fence 28, Memberson and Mithras pulled up, and Rousel refused.